Yes, yes, we can
Okay,
see.
great. Okay. How can I do the show? Okay. I don't know. All right, let's just do it like this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, thank you for the nice presentation. I'm Sojang Park at Seoul National University. Thank you very much for presenting this nice paper on innovations in motor insurance in Poland. When I was asked to do a discussion of this, to be a discussant of this paper, I was really glad to. I was very glad because nowadays I'm very interested in this topic, and looks like this research paper is covering very comprehensive topic regarding these innovations in motor insurance. So I can't wait reading your paper when it is completed. I think I can actually learn a lot about this issue about in Poland. So because it was not really kind of the empirical study or a theoretical model that I can kind of give you some suggestion about that research methodology and etc. So I don't have that much of suggestions per se, but actually I had a few questions about this yes. Other things, it looks like what I felt while reading through your work was although Korea and Poland is really far away, we are all on the same track. So insurance companies in Korea and Poland and also in other countries nowadays with all this technology kind of trying similar things. But this as concept that was kind of new to me because I think, as far as I know, we don't have this thing in Korea. And I think it was fascinating, especially from the point of view of consumers. So a few things that I wasn't able to completely understand. The first, actually, it was my question, but then after listening to your presentation, I think I'm cleared about this question. Conflict of interest was because when you do this yes, according to your presentation, because insurance companies will care more about their consumer instead of the stranger. So probably it's for consumers it's much easier to deal with my own insurance company. Otherwise, I can switch my insurer if you're not dealing me really well. So there goes some sort of incentive for insurers to treat this consumer pretty well. So I think that is a really excellent point that I have understood. But then my second little minor question was, so it's really kind of institutional question. I was like, in Korea and also in United States, as far as I know, we have this physical damage liability coverage, and also we have own car property coverage, right? And then when this consumer, this policyholder have both own car property coverage and also a physical damage liability, when it has comprehensive coverage for everything, then anyway, at the end of the day, somebody will have to pay the insurer, my insurer, or that the negligent parties insure, whomever that is. Anyway, from the point of view of driver, anyways, that also has to be paid, right? But then if I only have the physical damage coverage and I don't have own car property coverage, because in Korea actually its own car property coverage is not mandatory, it's voluntary. But then if the initial payment that I got from my own insurance company is different from the final payment from that settlement from that negligent parties insurer. If that amount of money is different, and especially when that final settlement is less than the payment that my insurance company have already paid out. How does this work? I was really curious about that. So my first question was whether having this own car property coverage is required for all the policy holders in Poland, sort of like the modified no-fault system. So, anyway, I have coverage for whatever, and then my insurance will cover for that loss kind of thing. It's whether that is the case or not. That was my really my question. And the second question is pretty much the same. I kind of mingled the two questions together. So that's I don't know whether you have understood my question or not. Anyway, that was my question. And let me add a few more things about the development in Korean auto insurance industry, because your presentation this reminded me this thing in Korea. So the one that you are watching here, AOS / Alpha, whatever that is, Korean Insurance Development Institution, they have developed this system recently, and it looks like they are kind of have started this thing this year. What this does is when there is a car accident, drivers can take a picture, and this will give us, this AI system will give us some sort of automated claim amount estimation. And they claim that this automated system is expected to shorten claim payment time. So because that final loss is easily estimated in a short time, so it could expedite the claim payment, and also it may reduce the disputes between insurance company and a policy holder. But then after actually looking at this system, what I was thinking was, okay, AI and all those technologies, great, but then what? It will shorten the estimation time just a little bit, but it's not real final payment. And I was really kind of, pessimistic about, unfortunately, pessimistic about what the system can really do. But then after watching your presentation about this DCS, if we combine this automated AI-based claim adjustment system and DCS, maybe real fast claim adjustment, real-time claim adjustment is feasible, because we don't need to talk about make a settlement immediately. Just based on this AI-based system, which will improve later on, take a picture and there's a claim adjustment amount and pay out this loss immediately, and later insurance company, they kind of settle out the final judgment and etc. So I was thinking maybe in the future this thing is really the way to go in that sense. That was my thinking. And the next thing was again, as you've mentioned as well, this autonomous cars and insurance is really kind of big thing, right? But then when it comes to autonomous car, as you have mentioned as well, the big plan is who is negligent, right? Here, the negligent party is like whether this is the car manufacturer or drivers, right? It's really unclear, and it's going to be really hard to know until we get to the complete autonomous car period. But then again, if we combine this thing with a DCS type of adjustment, okay, pay out the money immediately to the consumers, and later settle the final judgment between the negligent parties, insurance company, and also the car manufacturer or car manufacturer's insurer. So these things kind of will somehow resolve the issues that we may have in the future about autonomous cars. That was what I thought. And just a few other things about some innovations that we have in Korea. Let me introduce a few things. In terms of channel, when it comes to auto insurance, direct online channel, you buy insurance using your mobile or internet channel has to have been the norm in Korea. Pretty much all the people who can use their internet actually nowadays buy things on internet. It just happened within like 10 years, really fast. It went really fast. And nowadays, another thing that is going on in channel in terms of auto insurance channel is pricing comparison is getting more and more popular as the fintech companies are kind of having, growing, having more customers. So it looks like they provide a service of, auto insurance price comparison service. And notably, we have Naver.com, which is kind of Google in other countries. They claimed that they will provide the service of, comparing auto insurance price. So I think that will probably have a big impact on this auto insurance market. And another thing is another developing thing, rapidly developing thing in Korea is this in terms of pricing. So a few years, like about 10 years back, we started this low mileage discount, which is kind of very, initial easiest version of pay as you drive. And all the companies now have, this in their system. And then a few years ago, DB Non-Life Insurance Company partnered with SK, which has TMAP, which is kind of like Google's Google Map. So they have this, information about which driver drives how much and how. So they have user-based, use-based, information. Kind of, they have the data for UBI. So they kind of applied this concept of UBI, and it was quite successful. And finally, last year, the first insurtech company in Korea, non-life insurance company in Korea, called Carrot Insurance Company. They opened up, started their business actually this year, and they started to sell pay-as-you-drive type policy, and we will see how they will actually grow in the future. So in Korea, in terms of auto insurance innovation, we are at this stage and expected to move really quickly. So this is the picture that I got from the Carrot Insurance Company. As you can see, we have this per mile auto insurance company, and as you have introduced, we have a few on and off on-demand insurance policies as well. So we have just started these things, and if you are interested, probably I can share more information about these matters with you later. Okay, that is it about my presentation, and thank you again. Okay, Professor Manisky. Okay, let me stop my slide. Okay, so I'm done. Can you answer to my questions?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much for your interesting comments and also for the part about innovation in Korea. Honestly speaking, I counted on it that will be also added to share with other countries. So first of all, of course, I didn't mention about how works motor insurance in Poland, because in each and every country it is not similar, and we're thinking usually about our own country. So first of all, motor third-party liability insurance. So liability insurance is obligatory in Poland. So and accident insurance is not obligatory. So this is almost all over the Europe. This quite similar situation. However, the first important point to underline, we have to be aware that we can say in the world there are two basic systems of liability insurance. The first one, when each driver must have liability insurance. So that means whatever car, I can use many cars, and it works just my personal liability insurance. This is the system of the US, and I guess of Korea as well. However, the second system is connected with the protection for cars. Maybe we can say owner of the car is protected. So each policy has to be bought or issued for each and every car and car owner. However, is connected only with one car, and whoever is driving is protected. So the second system is used in Poland. So each and every owner of the car, we can say for a little bit easier, each car has to be insured. However, of course, there are some percentage or less than percentage of car owners who don't make this requirement. However, I'm not going to go deeply with this uninsured car problem because it is a big issue as well. However, I can talk about my own insurer only in the situation when I possess such a liability insurance. So no fault insurance is not available in Poland. So this is how we deal. So this is the first point. The second question was also connected with problems with claims settlement. Of course, at the end of the day, it could happen that into account that for a single loss, that I, as a insurer of a victim, I paid more than I received from the guilty party insurer. However, based on some statistical assessment, when we take into account large numbers, it should be more or less okay. However, considered one single point, yes, I can pay more than I receive in claims settlement from the second one insurer. Maybe also talking about channels, and I skipped the slide with some additional information. However, yes, we use also usage-based insurance, even pay how you drive, because we in Poland is quite popular application which is called Janosik. It is quite similar to Google Maps. However, many drivers drive too fast, and we have some quite big issue with police controls. So by this application, we can also inform, for example, other drivers that in this point there is a police control, so it will be worth to drive a little bit slow or according to the rules. And this application is also used to assess style of driving. So based on information from this application, insurer can learn if the driver driving too fast or accelerate very fast and braking very hard. So based on this style, assess of the style of driving, the premium could be proposed as well. So of course, online channels are also quite popular, especially for younger people. However, elder people who bought insurance for many years with a contact with insurance agent, they really need to have a contact with a person. So our society is quite conservative, and especially elder people are not very happy to avoid contact with other people. So I know that there was not enough time to explain each and every detail in my presentation. Unfortunately, I didn't share with my paper because it is not fully ready. So I hope that this could be answers, or I miss anything else what I should answer. Okay, thank you very much. If I missed something, please. But I think there is.